Good morning. So I have been meaning to do an update, and here it is. This is my planner update for 2017 as of March. So I have been using the Hobonichi Weeks since January. I wanted to try to have everything in one book, my work life, my personal life. I wanted to streamline, be efficient, and have it all be portable enough that I could carry it around. This video is probably going to be a little longer. I filmed it before and it was like 45 minutes, and I feel like there was a lot of stuff that I can cut out of that, but I don't edit, so I'm just going to go for it again and hopefully be a little more efficient and streamlined in what I say now that I've kind of thought it all through. So the Hobonichi Weeks. Wanted to be more efficient, wanted to be more streamlined, wanted to be portable. To share some personal information, hopefully this is not too personal for you, but this is going to have to do with all of the other things. So I have had some major health things going on for like the last year. My husband and I are doing IVF treatments, and so that has taken a toll mentally and physically and financially. And that has added a tremendous amount of stress to my life. Physical stress, mental stress, all of it. And I thought what would be helpful to me is to have everything in one place, because I have a lot of doctor's appointments, I have a lot of medications to take. Here's just, let me just show you, here is just a sampling of the various things that I have to take for a certain period of time. It's a lot. And so I have to have something that's portable, that I can take notes in, that I can write appointments in, that I need. And I thought it would be helpful to have everything in one place, because then I can just kind of, it's all compact, it's right here. In the past month and a half, 2 months, I have been really sick, like major cold type sick. No, that has been in the past couple of weeks. But in the past couple of, maybe like month and a half, I have had like major debilitating back pain, like to the point where I'm having, like I have trouble walking. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, how can you, like, I think that your stress is physically now manifesting itself in your health. She said, how can you, I teach at a school full of at-risk students that all have like PTSD, and they're like highly traumatized, and they have very low skill levels. So we're starting, with some students from just like they need help reading, and these are kids that are, almost adults. So we're, it's super intense, and they have a lot of emotional issues that are always brought forth, and so you're dealing with that on a daily basis, or I'm dealing with that. Then of course I just have my own life, right? Just like we all have daily stress and things. Then I have the IVF stuff on top of that, and then I just got really sick, and my back was like, that was it. And she said, with everything you have going on, how could this not physically manifest itself? In that time, this is the way I like to think about it. I've had like several epiphanies these past couple weeks. And it's like I've been with the Hobonichi Weeks. It's like having a pair of pants that's really cute. You love it. You love those pants. They tick all of your boxes. But it's like trying to wear a pair of pants that are like a size too small. And you are trying to make them fit, but you can, maybe it's half size too small, you can make them fit, but you are constantly reminded of how uncomfortable you are. It just isn't a fit. It sort of fits. And you're forcing it, and you're making it work, when really you'd probably just be a lot more comfortable if you just got a bigger pair of pants. That's how I feel. So the first epiphany that I had was when I got, actually they kind of all happened in the same week, because I was just feeling so bad. It was when I had a really bad cold that I'm still getting over, right? It was, this is not working. This is not working for multiple reasons. I have too many personal things that I'm trying to keep track of, and I have too many school things that I'm trying to keep track of. I thought back to what has worked. You know, I've been experimenting with planners for a while now. And when I was steadily using a planner, it was the Woman's Success Choice Planner. And I used that for several years. And then I got into this whole experimental phase that's been going on for a very long time. And I thought, you know, what has worked? What has really worked? When I look at this planner, let me just kind of move this to the side. So, the Hobonichi Weeks, the positives. It is portable. It is super lightweight. Let me just show you some of these things. So, how I've used the Hobonichi Weeks, I just need to kind of walk you through this. So on these days, I've been tracking weight and fertility things, like cycle things. On the monthly pages, I have been tracking, you know, any kind of appointments, and I have this on purpose, kind of blurry, because I have a lot of personal information. I don't do Post-its at this point. So I have, you know, appointments and things like that. Then on the weekly pages, look at this, okay? So I can make it fit, but it's cluttered. It is visually unappealing to me. I have to write a lot smaller than I normally would. I can't just look at it and easily see it. It is like scrunched to the max. I've got my personal, I've got work, I've got some work over here, I've got some personal over here, I've got some personal here. It is, to me, it is a lot, and I have not enjoyed looking at it. It's, you know, and then I try to like not write certain things on here. Another thing that I have found that when and so, okay, so that's that. And then I've been using the back for like grocery lists. And then what I've been doing in here is trying to do my lesson plans. And I have found that I don't like pencil on Tomoe River paper, even when I use a pencil board, because it kind of pushes in. Let me adjust this lighting here a little bit. It got really sunny. It kind of pushes the paper in, and I don't like this cream color with pencil on it. It's just not visually, it doesn't work for me. So then I started writing on Post-its, but then I was really shortening what I was writing. I couldn't fit everything on there. You know, work to-dos were in one place, lesson plans were in another place on Post-its, and there's nothing dated in here, and I found that I wasn't pulling this little book out because it doesn't lay flat. Well, now of course it's going to on here, but like on my desk at work, it would be like this. That is not something that I enjoyed, and this was just stressing me out. I'm trying to make this system work, and it's not working. I found that I had Post-its all over my desk because it wouldn't fit in here, and it wasn't in a place that I could like see it all. I didn't want to have my planner open on my desk because I have a lot of like health and personal stuff in here that I don't need anybody else to see. So I have all these Post-its everywhere. I have lesson plans in this little book that's never open. I have to-dos in here that I can't keep open because it's personal stuff. It was just, and it's all small and it's cramped, and it was just not working. It's been really stressing me out. And why am I doing this to myself? You know, yes, this is small and portable, but it's clearly not working for me. So the first thing that I decided was that I was going back to what has worked for me for years, and that is my ARC notebook. So last July, I had been using this up until last July. Last July was when I changed to like a Franklin Covey and started doing all this experimentation. But in July, I bought the calendar because I was thinking I was going to use this. I don't like this because it's bulky and it's heavy, but this has always worked. So the other thing also with the Post-its is I have all these important pieces of paper that have a lot of information that I sort of frequently need to access, but they're on full-size sheets of paper because we get them from, you know, meetings, or, you know, they're handouts at work, 8.5 by 11. You cannot fold it up to fit in here. It's just not going to work. So there's a lot of critical information that sometimes I need that I don't have at home because it's in a pile on my desk, in a pile, or it's stapled to my wall at work because I know it's important and I need to access it, but it's not always here when I need it. Back in the day when I was using this, I had everything I needed in this, and if I just carried this home, yes, it was heavy, but what? I'm carrying it from my classroom to my car, and my car to my house. So I am going back to this for school, and already I can feel my stress level going down. I have my grade sheets here, and they're not going to get all bunched up in my bag because, or like bent because I'm trying to just carry them. So I have grading sheets. I have handouts of things that I need to make copies of, and they're not going to get bent in my bag because now they're actually going to be here, right? And they're full-size pages. I have space for any handouts that I need to keep with critical information. I have Post-its. I have note paper, like if I need to make a quick note. I already have all of this stuff. I should use it. This made my life easier, and it made me feel less stressed out. I have these page protectors that I would put critical information in that I would need to look at. I pulled all the old stuff out. I'm going to be filling that in at school this week. I'm going to finish doing this. I brought this home this weekend to get the basics done, and then I'm going to go to school and I'm going to start pulling things off the wall that I would normally keep in here. That will make it visually less cluttered in my room. Even though my room is not very cluttered, but to me it is, on that wall. And all those papers that are piled on my desk, they're going in here now. I don't need to have this pile that I never had on my desk. Little notes that I don't have a place for, they went in here. Like, how do I name my Google Classroom classes, right? I've had this note for like a year and a half, and I keep it in here, and I know it's in here. There was certain information that I have in here still that I need to access maybe like once every 6 months. I always knew it was here, right? But I just need to keep this again. This worked. So what I did is I have the tabs that I used to have that I did one time, and I'm still reusing those. Let me just show you my setup for work. So I have plenty of room. I just feel so good about this. Everything is divided with dividers. I have a page marker for the day. I feel so much better after I went through and I did this. I set this up. So I have a nice big monthly calendar, full pages. If I need to punch pages and put them in here, I can. And it's the full-size pages, so I don't have to fold it. It doesn't have to look all bent, and I can keep things nice. I can add paper to this. I'm trying to be shorter than I was last time. And I sound very passionate right now. I can feel it. This is my lesson plan. So I have, one thing I've missed is being able to see the full week when my notebook is open and laying flat. I can see everything I need to do, and it's all just school stuff. I'm not cluttered with my home to-dos. So, on one side, I have one of the classes that I teach, English. On the other side, I have my career planning class. So I have block schedule. I have both of those courses on Monday and Tuesday, but I have 5 different classes that have those courses. So this is what I now have room for. My lesson plan for both classes right in front of me. I have plenty of room to write and make little notes for myself. I can write in pencil, which I've missed. I have space for notes at the bottom. I have these little perpetual reminders, things that would stress me out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to turn in my attendance. Well, I didn't before because I'd just turn it in, I'd move the Post-it to the next week. These things make it easier, right? These things make sense. They help me. Planners should help us so that we don't have to keep anything in our brain. We could put it on here, and then we can focus on the task at hand. We put the energy into plan and put it on the paper so that we don't have to use that energy, that mental energy later. One of the things that I ended up keeping on Post-its in my class, I hope I'm making sense. One of the things I ended up keeping on Post-its on my class is like the 5 classes. Well, where did we actually end that class period? So that I would know where to pick it up, because even though you plan it out, doesn't mean that's what you're going to be doing on that day. I now have a space for that. The to-dos that I had to do, I had like 4 Post-its on my desk, just of the things I had to do. It stresses me out, right? So here's where my classes left off at the end of Tuesday. My prep period is on Tuesday and Thursday, so here are the things that I have to do to get ready. I always try to do planning on Tuesdays, grading on Thursdays, but I now have space. I have places for my lesson plans. Where did my classes leave off? What do I have to do on my prep period? Perpetual reminders, and then field trips. I have room for notes. It's not visually cluttered. It's very organized and neat. I can write large enough, unlike in the Hobonichi weeks, I can write large enough that I can look at it from far away and actually read it and see what it says. It's just so much better. And trying to make something work because you want to be streamlined and efficient, that was causing me a tremendous amount of stress. I can already visualize things that I can eliminate off of my desk. My desk looks so cluttered. It's never been like that. And I have Post-its everywhere, and I have piles of paper. That was all the stuff that went in here. I'm going to be able to eliminate that, and that's going to make me feel so much less stressed when I look at my desk. I won't feel like it's out of control. I will feel like I have everything in one place, and I have to say, I kind of feel like, not shame or embarrassment, but just like, why am it's just way too much, way too cluttered. So I've set this up. I had my lesson plans laid out for the next, till the end of our semester, which is coming soon. I have a spot where I can put where my classes left off, all of my to-do lists. I've laid it all out for myself, and I feel so much better. So much better. I can't even explain it to you. Things that were in my calendar just for academic purposes, like field trips or special days, I have already written those in, like no school. If there is an important reminder from my personal life that I need to be cognizant of during my work day, I have put it in my planner on the appropriate day. So like I have a doctor's appointment here that I know that that will affect my work day. So I put it up here in the corner. I know it's there. And so the only time I see personal life carry into the planner is when it's going to affect me during the work day. So all the way through June, I went through, and it looks blank, right? But I have some things written. I wrote anything that was necessary for school, like that I already knew, like field trips or state testing or anything like that. It's already written in here so that I'm good to go all the way through June. I feel so much better. I just can't even explain it, even to graduation. I have some blank paper. The ARC notebook paper is such good quality. It's so bright white. It visually, it's appealing. I can highlight things on it. It doesn't bleed through, so that, you know, I can do what I need to do to feel good about where I am with my job. Critical information that I haven't been carrying around with me, that I've needed multiple times and regretted I didn't have. It's in here. I have information for our subsystem. I have information for this college class that I teach, that I need the stuff like, you know, 3 or 4 times every year. It's here. I have space for the stuff that I've been putting on my wall and in piles. I can now put it in my page protectors back here. I just feel so much better about this. I feel so good about this. I have a spot for my pencil because I always use pencil in my plan book, and now I have some room for that. It's just, this is an improvement, and I'm feeling good about it. So I'm getting out of the weeks for my work, and I'm going back to what worked for me. I just need more room. That's the first change I'm making. The second change that I'm making is incorporating another set of things, a personal planner for my desk. So with everything that I have going on, I need to have space for that. I need to have separation of work and home. I need to feel like I don't have to write super tiny and squish everything in. This I can't even. This stresses me out looking at it. So, if you didn't want to watch my video on the Inkwell Press planner, I went through all the different pages. I'm just going to briefly talk about this with you. I ordered, it came to me like a week or so ago on sale. These were going on sale. And I thought, and this was when I was really sick, and I was thinking about, I was already decided that I was going back into my ARC planner for school, and I thought, what worked for me in the past? I need a weekly layout. The Hobonichi Cousin does not have a weekly layout that I like. I like the big boxes that I can write things across, not the tiny columns. And I need to see a week at a glance. Weekly planning has always been how I've done things. The Hobonichi Cousin, you know, it worked for how I was trying to use it, but that didn't work overall for me. And there's reasons why, and I went into all of those in the video that I made. So I thought, what works? I like bound planners. I know I don't like ring planners. I like a weekly view. I like something that has, you know, a large space to write. I don't like the columns. I like things that have color. because I know I'm not going to decorate it, and I know that I want it to be pretty. In my work planner, I don't want color. I just want to be able to see it, like that's all business, right? But I want something that's pretty for home. I want to have enough space so that I have white space and blank space, so that I can see things and they make sense and they're not cluttered. I want enough room for everything I need to write in here. I was sacrificing writing things in my Hobonichi weeks because there just wasn't enough room. And so I was missing things. Like, I didn't ever have a menu plan in there. I have always menu planned. And it got so bad that this week I forgot to lay anything out for dinner, and we didn't have anything ready for dinner, and we had to go out, and it was like this big thing. That was when I was like, I need to stop. Like, this is not working. It's stressing me out. It's bringing more stress into my life, trying to fit into that Hobonichi weeks. Streamlined, whatever, it's not working. So I spent the money. I got one of these Eat Well menu planners. I'll show you this first, because this was one piece that had dropped off from the Hobonichi weeks that I have always done. I used this for the first time this weekend, and I loved it. So I thought when I saw it, I'm like, man, I even said in my video, that's kind of expensive for what it is. I will buy this again. This was awesome when I was grocery shopping. So not only is it nice and hardback, it's pretty, right? It's hardback, so there's a hard surface to write on. It lays flat. It opens up completely. I set it on the little thing at the shop, in the, you know, like where the little handle is in the shopping cart, and it was awesome. So I took some time to do some menu planning. I wrote with a Pilot Frixion pen, and I planned out what I knew I could do. So it's pretty basic. I like that there's a little place for us to rate, did we like it or not. I planned out breakfast, lunch, and snacks, because now I don't have to think about it, right? I can just look at the list. What do we have? Took this. So if you've never heard of FlyLady, go to flylady.net. That was one of the best things I ever did years ago, was to learn how to incorporate routines in my life so that things became automatic. And like menu planning and stuff is a part of that, and it's worth it. I never did the whole thing, and I'm committing myself to doing her whole program, and I know I'm going to be able to fit it in that Inkwell Press planner. That was not going to be able to fit in the Hobonichi weeks. Anyway, I digress. So I made my list. I could see it at the grocery store. It was nice, bright, and white. It was organized. It was easy to read, and it was a pleasure to use at the grocery store. Also, I actually used some of the resources in the back. I looked at the seasonal produce. I used that list, and I used, I'm trying to open this here, I used this list. So I looked at, you know, what should you buy organic and what not, and I actually did buy, like, the things that I was going to buy already that she said to buy organic. I did, and I used this list. So I actually used, and I used this as well. So I actually used these resources while I was at the grocery store, which was really nice. So I have a place to menu plan. That had dropped off my life and was stressing me out. Here's the planner. So I don't have time to think about like goal planning and stuff right now. I'm just gonna, you know, those pages are there if I ever need them, but that's not a priority. I have to be realistic about what I have time and energy for. So what I went through is I took all the stuff from my Hobonichi weeks, and I had filled out my Hobonichi weeks all the way through June, because that would have taken me to the end of my school year. And I went through and I filled out all of my Inkwell Press planner until June. So I have everything written there. This is the end of this week, but let me show you next week. Look at how nice and neat that is. I can write large. I can see it. It's on bright paper, and it's organized. And if I have white space, great. I have room to put all of my personal to-dos. What I'm doing over here is I'm putting my morning medications and shots in the top box, evening medications and shots in the middle box, and my dinner plan in the bottom box. So I have, these are like things I need to do every day. These are, you know, like that I have to check, so they're like in these little highlighted boxes. I have my just to-dos here, and over here I'm going to put my FlyLady information in the weekly focus. And so like the zone cleaning, I know I'll have room for everything, and I'm so happy about this because I don't have to squish anymore, and it's going to be clean, and it's going to be clear, and it's going to be uncluttered. In the back, if I don't use the extra pages, I don't care. I just need room to breathe, and I need to see some white space. In the very back, I have any recipes I'm going to use for that week coming up, I'm putting in here so that I don't have to pull them, like, just so unorganized right now. I feel so unorganized because large pieces of paper do not fit in the Hobonichi weeks. All I had to do was fold it in half, and here it is. Any important things that I need to look at, bills to pay, get to go back here instead of in a pile on my desk because they don't fit in the Hobonichi weeks. So bills to pay go in here. Recipes that I'm going to be using. Important notes that I don't necessarily need right this second, but I need someplace to put them so they don't get lost. Coupons or something that I'm going to use. It all fits in here. It's beautiful. There's enough room. I'm just feeling so much better. I'm finally wearing a pair of pants that fits. So now, how am I going to use my Hobonichi weeks? Because I am going to keep the Hobonichi weeks. It has a purpose, and its purpose is for appointments and scheduling and taking notes at doctor's appointments or things that I need to jot down. I will always keep the Hobonichi weeks in my purse because it fits perfectly. There is enough room to take notes like at a doctor's appointment on a page like this. In the future, I'm going to be able to write larger here so that I can actually see it. I'm going to have there's going to be redundancies in my system. So things that are going to be in the Hobonichi weeks. Field trips, evening things for school. Things that are going to be in the Hobonichi weeks. Any appointments, any scheduling, anything that's like critical for me to know if I'm making an appointment somewhere so that I don't double book. I will have this to take notes. That's pretty much it. I'm going to be able to write larger. If there's blank unused space, if all of my Hobonichi weeks, look something like this, I mean, I already have a lot of stuff written in, so, but if, in the future, my Hobonichi weeks look like, they only have, one or two things written in it, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with the blank page. And I have plenty of space if I need it. I can schedule myself, not double book myself, but this is going to be strictly for scheduling, conflicts and schedules, things like that. That's it, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm going to have all my personal stuff here because I only need it at home on my desk, but I need to see it big, and I need to see it so that I have enough room. I just can't stress to you enough how much I'm feeling better about this, and I feel like I'm not going to be dropping any more balls that have been juggling in the air. I can't remember things. I have too much on my mind. It's just not working trying to fit everything in here. Being streamlined and efficient is causing me to drop things and to be stressed out. So one of the things I want to just say is if something's not working for you, don't be afraid to change it. I know that we spend money on these things because, and it's not necessarily cheap, but all I can say is you can make more money in your life, but the stress and the toll that it takes on your health is not worth a $50 planner. Seriously, it's not. Get something else that works, because these are tools that are meant to make our lives better and easier and less stressed. If it's not working for you, change it. Don't force it. I love the portability of this. It has the capability and the capacity to contain most things that I want to contain, but it's not in a way that's helping me. I think that our lives are so cluttered and so stressed already that the last thing we need to see is visual clutter on a page. When I watch some planner videos where people have like no empty spaces and they have stickers everywhere, and I mean, just that stresses me out. I don't even know how you can look at it and like make sense of it. Some of them are really cute, but I just can't make sense of it myself. I need to see open, blank space. I need to see things clearly laid out, and I need everything to be in order and structured and, like visually organized. And I am confident that that is going to be the case with this new system. Of course, I will update you, But I just want to tell you, if it's not working, don't be afraid to change it. And I think one of the great things about YouTube is we can share ideas and we can share experiences and we can have a conversation about what works for us and why and how we use it. And we can learn from each other and take ideas from each other. So trying to shorten this, definitely it's about 15 minutes shorter than it was. I hope that this all makes sense and that it is helpful for you on some level. We've been in our planners now for a few months, and it just took me a little while to figure out, like, why do I feel this level of stress that I've never felt before? And it's from my Hobonichi weeks and me trying to make something work that doesn't. So I'm going to try something else. I'll update you and I'll let you know how it goes. But I can tell you this, when I just finally made these decisions and took the time, it took several hours to just get everything transferred over and get it all set up, my level of stress went down measurably. So I will carry this in my purse for appointments and scheduling. There will be redundancies. I'm okay with that. What does that take? 2 seconds. There will be redundancies. I have a meal plan. I don't need to keep this, out. I only need this when I need to plan meals once a week. This will be my main desk planner, and I will have my ARC notebook at work, and I just already feel so much better about everything. So, one book July, be damned. I just need something that works, and I need to not feel stressed. So, I hope that you have a great week. If you stuck around, thank you for being for listening. I hope I didn't share too much information. I just needed to update you and just kind of communicate that, when we need to change, we just need to do it and not resist the change. Sometimes it's going to be better, right? So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.